Hello, Digidestins. This is Kyle D, better known as Ridemyavatar, and today we're going to cover BT-6. BT-6's red decks are amazing. We have many variations that can do quite well, and these are just stepping stones for you to build better on your own. I'm trying to give you advice with these 5 decks to give you options into the meta, because a lot of videos will not show you the possibilities. I like giving you possibilities, and then I'll work on fine-tuning these decks later for you guys after I've done some playtesting around with them, gotten a better idea of knowledge on them. So guys, without further ado, let's dive right into the video and go over it. Right. So first deck we're going to talk about is none other than Shinegreymon, or aka Greymon Nokia. Because the ability with Nokia being able to play us an Agumon, which is fine, but being able to reduce the cost of our Greymons down, may suspend this tamer to reduce the cost of 1 memory. Since there is not a lot of memory negation cards in this format, it does help out in the long game because we have Shinegreymon with the security plus and piercing. In a way, this card is similar to Ragnarlordmon without having to go to a level 7 and hope for the best here. This card gets the pierce and gets a security check, already 10 times better than most decks out there without having to worry about security options, things that might have slowed you down a little bit. Being able to swing in for 12 into the security stack is really good, but we also have great rookie inheritables that'll help us hit numbers like 15, 16, getting over things that might have struggled. So we have Bedomon. So while this Digimon has piercing, it gets plus 2000 DP. So this Shinegreymon already going to be at 14. And our backup baby is Digimon. So while your opponent's Digimon is deleted, this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP for the turn. So because we're swinging into a Digimon with pierce, we can swing in for 12. Most Digimons don't hit above that, but the reason why this deck did so well in BT5 was you had Lord Nightmon rested, swing in with Shinegreymon, clearing it out because of Bedomon or because Digimon gave it. Then you're hitting over marks that just your opponent could not handle. Shinegreymon just such a powerhouse tool. We do have Agumon in here, where the fact of the matter is we want to hit the Greymons. We have enough targets to hit to fix our board state if we do run into a slump, and grabbing out a champion or an ultimate or a mega you need is really great filtering, and being able to filter in this deck is super important. We do play Agumon that gives the inheritable of 1000 DP, just so this plus Babido plus Shine equals 15. Now you're hitting for consistent numbers. You're hitting over most threats, and your opponent can't really do anything. Then we have Agumon. When this Digimon attacks a player, it gets plus 2000 DP. This is from the starter deck 7. So this plus Babido makes him a, let's see, 2, 4, 16k. Most security Digimon don't hit 16, so you're quite fine, and you get to clear out the security stack easily. You play Greymon, so this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP. Another option if we're just climbing just to hit big numbers and we have to get over Lord Nightmon. If it gets way too big, we can clear it out and slow them down a bit. Next, we do play Monocoromon for the fact he is a blocker and a 1-cost evolution. Just being that 1-cost evolution does help out at the end of the day. We do have Greymon with the extra security checks, so once we hit like 16, Shinegreymons just purpose should be gaining enough security to take out in 1 swing. So being able to take out their Bossmon that is rested because you baited it out really does help out. So definitely don't sleep on this. We do play Geogreymon. So the amazing part of this card is it's on play is delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4000 or less DP. So it deletes most champions to rookies that are very powerful in their inheritables. But what's really nice is it's a security Digimon that comes out and says, hey, I'm here, deal with me. Next, we do play Volcandramon. The security +1 for Volcandramon is really great. I love Volcandramon for the fact that if you put it with Greymon into Volcandramon into a Shinegreymon, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 security checks just by that column alone. And most decks just can't handle the fact that you can clear out that so easily. Next, we do also play the Ridemyavatar at 1 for the fact of its inheritable. So if you have a Tamer in play, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn, making the bigger threats smaller so that we can just clear it out and trigger all of our inheritables very easily. And what's really nice is the Digiburst 2, you may play a red or yellow Tamer with a play cost 4 or less from your hand without paying its memory cost. Really solid tech choice, in my opinion, because if we use Tai Kamiya, we can play it for free. Then all our red Digimon with 4 or more Digi-Evolution sources gain security +1. Really powerful skill. Then we also play Alterius mode Metal Greymon. So if this Digimon digivolves on card with Metal Greymon in its name, delete one of your opponent's 4000 or less DP, helping us with the Rookie Rush matchup that does exist in BT-6. And while this Digimon has Greymon or Omnimon in its name, get plus 2000 DP. Again, inheritables that just stack and we get big, we clear out things. We play War Greymon for the security control and 3 Musketeer matchup. Being able to, for that one turn, be able to clear out a bunch of security is super good. It's as powerful as Shinegreymon, but this is a lot weaker, so you're more susceptible to dying to things, but War Greymon just keeps clearing out that security stack that they might have. You also play Blitz to de-digivolve any big threats, and it has piercing, so 5 piercing targets, 1 normal target. Next, we do play Omnimon with Blitz. This one's just for that game finisher, because if you digivolve into this after you clear out 5 security, boom, they lose, they're done. It's a game finisher, we don't want to rely on it too much, and our option space is just so tight. We play 2 dedicated plan for shutting up options when we are swinging with Shinegreymon into purple, blue, security control, or we're facing into the biggest threat of our lives, 3 Musketeers. So we want to shut them down right there. We also play Trident Revolver for if it reveals insecurity, delete one of our opponent's 6 blocker basically, then we get to play a Tamer out of the deal. And free Tamers are never bad. Next, we do have Happy Bullet Showering. I don't get why they changed this, but hey, they're Happy Bullets. If you have a 3 Musketeer type, you may use this option without meeting its color requirements. We don't play 3 Musketeers. We're in a red deck. We can use this. Delete all your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP. So, Rookie Rush boards, goodbye. That is the only reason why we're playing it, just to kill off the Rookie Rush boards easily. Red Memory Booster is to reveal the top 4 cards of our deck, add 1 red Digimon card from among them, place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck. It helps us unbrick, but that delay cost to be used on the following turn to either help us when they choke us to 1, or when we kind of just play out how we want. We're just using it for this advantage. It's such a great card in this deck just to play out with. Next, we play 1 Gaia Force, because Gaia Force and security is always great. And then we have Atomic Blaster from set 7. This card deletes all your any number of opponents' Digimon with a total DP 8000 or less. This makes it so deleting a 5k rookie and a 3000, that's 2 Digimon, or if they have a bunch of them or kill an ultimate off, just really good, solid 5 cost removal is really good. And like I mentioned, Tai Kamiya for the extra security punches, and then Nokia for the restability. So I think this is a solid deck for any new person coming into this game. This will definitely teach you the basics, and it's not expensive. The Gaia Force is probably the most expensive, next to our good friend Ridemyavatar being a $10 card. The rest is from trial decks you can easily get your hands on. Outside of that, you're pretty solid. So let's go on to the next deck. Next deck we have is my boy Shoutmon DX. I've been personally playing this like no tomorrow. I love Shoutmon. It's a really good deck. So let's go over the basics. First off, we play Demi Mera. So while this Digimon attacks a player, it gets plus 1000 DP. Just a good inheritable for your line going up. Always swinging in, you're always a plus 1,000, which really does help out at the end of the day. We also have Koromon. While this Digimon has 4 or more Digimon evolution cards, gain plus 1,000 DP. Not terrible. We play Monodramon just for that choking option. Next, we also play Shoutmon. So reveal 5 cards from the top of your deck. Add 1 Digimon with Shoutmon in its name and 1 Digimon card with Blitz in its name. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. Since we are playing the red memory booster and we're trying to rush our opponent outright, we're playing a rushier deck. We're playing for keeps and essentialness. We're just trying to focus on controlling their board, removing threats, and we're just using our big guy just to keep them at bay. Next, we also play the Shoutmon. So once per turn, if this Digimon has Blitz, trigger draw 1. We have plenty of targets to trigger that Blitz skill in our Ultimates and Megas and level 7s. So we're always going to draw something out of that trade, which is never bad. Next, we do play the Agumon that gives 1,000 DP. Just a nice another roundabout thing. You can always just play this Agumon while this Digimon attacks a player, gets plus 2,000 DP. It's another option, but always good to have 2 Agumon types just for that situation. Next, we do play Dark Tyrannomon for that 1 cost evolve. Same thing with Monocoromon. Coromon is 1 cost evolve blocker. We play Groundramon to get around 6,000 killers. We also play Greymon in here for that security boost that just clears for days. This card is a really awesome tech for this deck, Growlmon. So this comes from the starter deck. While your opponent's Digimon is deleted, gain 1 memory. So once per turn, when your Digimon is deleted, gain 1 memory. So let me explain how this interaction works. Is if you go with Blitz first, this card, after you delete their Mon by either swinging with Zeeg and stuff like that, if you just pushed it over 1, you can go back to being 0 and still have your turn and then go right into Omnimon and then swing again with Blitz. So it's never terrible to kill off our opponent's Mon. This happens while Blitz is active, the attack still goes and it passes back to your turn because the effect was triggered. This Digimon attacks when your opponent's memory gauge is moved. As long as you do Blitz first, the attack has to happen first. So you get the attack in anyway. It's just like your normal turn. You just deleted a blocker out of the deal. And it's not terrible to always get your turn back. Groundramon's in here to be Groundramon plays. Playing that 5 cost. And then just climbing right up is just nasty. While Candramon is really nice with the security plus 1 skill. Just to take out some extra security on the way through with Shoutmon X. Next, we do have Omnishout in here for targets with Shoutmon. And the fact of the matter is giving extra security if you have Blitz. And our top line is all about that Blitz life. So when Digivolving Blitz, while this Digimon attacks a player, if Digimon attacks with Blitz, it can also attack an opponent's unsuspended Digimon. So this is where I'm also talking about. You can swing into their Mon, blow up another one, you'll gain memory, just so it's really good to pass to your turn and then go right into Omnimon to protect yourself against Rewinding Green or anything that just would send your Digimon back to deck or hand or remove it from play. So it's just really good overall skill. We also have Dedicated Plan in here to shut down 3 Musketeers and our good friend Security Control. Next, we play Plasma Stake. You could play more rookies, don't get me wrong. If you're not comfortable with this rookie lineup, go with more rookies instead of Plasma Stake. I'm playing Plasma Stake because a lot of Digimon gain power on our opponent's turn. Now, we're also going to be hitting 13s, stuff like that. At least with Plasma Stake, we get to remove big threats really quickly. Being able to take out level 7s. We have Bonds, AncientBonds in this format, and they're all 13Ks. They are very high threat choices that we need to remove real quick. The Bonds, the Ancients, they're going to walk us. So if they hit this in security, they're losing their Mon and they don't get an extra attack. So it really does help out in the end of the day. We run Red Memory Booster. For the fact is Red Memory Booster is here to reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 card from among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any orders. When placed Then place this card into the battle area, and its security effect just lets you place it into the battle area to use its delay effect later. We also have Gaia Force to be Gaia Force. We love blowing things up. Then we have Atomic Blaster to take out any ultimates or less wide boards. And then 2 Tai Kamiya for the fact is Tai helps out for the Shoutmon play. That's about it. So next deck we're going to be talking about is Ancient Bonds of Courage. This deck is taking from our good friend, the AncientBonds fused with Bonds of Friendship. That deck has a way of playing like no other. So it's all about warping and everything like that. This deck takes it like that and a step further. So first off, we play 4 Ridemyavatar because this card is just so good. You can play any other Koromon. You can play anything else that you might think that'll help you out. But Ridemyavatar is when this Digimon attacks a player, it gets plus 1000 DP. We're always going face because AncientGreymon really got a nice new support card. AncientGreymon gaining security for every hybrid. So if you get a Flamemon underneath a Agunimon that gets to warp when attacking, so for that 2 cost, you can take out 3 security like nothing. Or you can take out even more. If you use Atomic Inferno early enough, this card will swing for 16, clear out any threats that you have. And the reason why this deck does so well is because Flamedramon came into the picture. While this Digimon is hybrid form or 10 warrior type, it gains piercing. I'm not kidding you when I say when you gain piercing with a Digimon that can swing 3 to 4 security checks without batting an eye, you have no issues, because that was AncientGreymon's biggest weakness, was being able to swing in and not have the proper targets just keep going. A blocker just shut this deck down and you just ran out of fuel. But now with Bonds of Friendship, I mean Bonds of Courage and Bonds and AncientGreymon, they combo so well, they mash really good that just makes sense. Why wouldn't you play these 2 together? We play Flamedramon, the on play, reveal the top 3 cards, add a hybrid in this form or a red tamer from among them, place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. So we have enough targets and tamers to hit, so we're hoping to hit off of those 3 and keep it to our opponent. Take it to our opponent. Next, we do have Agumon. So when you play a tamer with Tai in its name, gain 1 memory. So really nice being able to play Tai down for 2 and not pass to your turn if you're at 2. So we like to take advantage of this. And while this Digimon has Agumon Bonds of Courage, this Digimon gains security this turn. This, as long as he is Bonds of Courage, he's going to have an extra security attack and clear out boards. I talked about this Flamemon earlier with the Pierce combo with AncientGreymon. Next, we do have Agumon. While this Digimon attacks a player, it gets 2000 DP for the turn. Really nice. Being able to gain a power up for our Bonds of Courage, our AncientGreymon. Really nice at the end of the day. We also do have a Agunimon. So the fact of the matter is, if we can Digivolve on top of the Tamer, we could win a game very easily that way. We also play Greymon in here so that we put it underneath this Agumon. It's a 7000 DP swinger with extra security. Actually, not 7. It would be higher than that because we are swinging into security. So we're gonna be a little bit higher if we have the evolution right. So this card would be at 8000 with 2 security checks. As long as it takes out 2, it did its job. We're at a rush state. Next, Agunimon's in here for the fact of making AncientGreymon just so annoying. Next, we do play Aldermon. Aldermon's in here for the security plus, but it also, if it has hybrid, it gets plus 4000 DP. Another mini version of AncientGreymon, but it also combos well with the Flamedramon because it is a hybrid. So you want to take advantage of cards like that at all times. So that's why we are playing it like this. Next, we do have Bonds of Bravery, aka Bonds of Courage. I don't know why Bonds of Bravery, it's just Bonds of Courage. When attacking this, if you have a tamer, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 or less DP. Once per turn, when your opponent's Digimon is deleted, trash the top of your opponent's Digimon security stack. That's ridiculous. You get a free 2 swings for nothing. So if that was a Gaia Force on top, bye-bye Gaia Force. And then you get to take out a few more security with the Agumon combo. But there is a downside about this deck, and I'll explain to it in a minute. Next, we do play Omnimon for that Blitz final turn rush. If you can do it with AncientBonds, you can swing in, take out 3 to 4 security, and then Digivolve right into that Omnimon and call it a day. Atomic Inferno is all your Digimon gets security attack until your end turn. So this is a blanket effect, and main effect, hybrid Digimon get plus 3000, gain security plus, and the following effect this turn, when this Digimon is blocked, gain 3 memory. So if they block the Agunimon that swings in with 3 security, you're getting 3 memory back, then you can go right into Omnimon and just go for it. So no matter what, it's a win-win in your situation. Gaia Force is in here to delete one of your opponent's Digimon. Super good card. It's super important to be able to clear big threats, and with Bonds of Courage, Bonds of Friendship and AncientBonds swing in multiple times, you need to have options they hit that'll kill them off, or else you're going to lose the game. Next, we have Atomic Blaster, delete any number of opponents' Digimon whose total is 8,000. We're killing ultimates or rookies, that's about it. Next, we have Marcus in here, so we're gaining 3 memory every turn. We like that. But we also have when this Digimon with Greymon in its name attacks, or Greymon that attacks. So AncientGreymon will gain us a memory. You may suspend this tamer to gain 1 memory. So that's the main plan, is to keep it our turn as best as possible. So if AncientGreymon would trigger the Marcus now rests, we gain a memory, it's still our turn, we can Digivolve into Blitz Omni and just clear out the rest of that security. Like I said, Ties in here for a really interesting reason. When your Digimon with Agumon or Greymon in its name is moved from the breeding area to battle, gain 1 memory, trigger draw +1. Card advantage in this deck is super needed. We need to unbrick sometimes, or we just need to get to the combo pieces really well, because level 6 and 7 are just super important. Once per turn, you may Digivolve 1 Agumon into an Agumon Bond of Courage in your hand by paying its Digi-Evolution cost, ignoring its level requirement. If you do, trash the top 2 cards of your security stack. Then if you have 1 or more security, delete one of your opponents, delete that Digimon at the end of turn. So you're gonna lose out on everything. It is a final push turn. If they don't have a way of winning, you're just gonna clear out their big threat and just call it a day. So next deck we're gonna talk about is none other than Jesmon. Jesmon takes this format by storm. I'm not joking. This deck is super good. This is probably one of the tier 1 decks, as I mentioned in my ranking video. So let's go over it. First off, we play Bedomon. So Bedomon is, while this Digimon has Pierce, it gains plus 2000 DP. Really nice skill. So why wouldn't we play with Jesmon being able to gain extra gain Pierce? Why not gain the power? We also have when your opponent's Digimon is deleted, this Digimon gets plus 2000 for the turn. It's not as often as that's going to happen, so that's why we play this card and we play this as the backup. Yeah, Monodramon for the fact is a 2-cost drop, nothing else. It's a vanilla. Next we have Shoutmon. So on play, reveal 5 cards from the top of your deck. Add up to 2 cards with Shoutmon, Jesmon, or Sistermon in their name among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck. So Shoutmon or Hackmon, if you want to hear Hackmon, is super important. We also have Agumon. While this Digimon attacks a player, it gets plus 2000 DP for the turn. Not bad. Next, we have Guilmon for the Warp. We're going to want to Warp Digivolve sometimes. So while your opponent has a level 6 or higher Digimon, you may Digivolve this card into Guilmon in your hand for a Digi-Evolution 4, ignoring its Digi-Evolution requirements. And when your opponent's Digimon is deleted, trigger draw +1. Really powerful skill, boys and girls. I love it. I think it's really useful. Draw or the Warp Evolution is just so good. You get the right memory boost with a tie out. You can go right into this very easily to catch back up, clear out their board state, just to do all that fun stuff. Next, we have Sistermon Blanc. So while you have a Digimon with Shoutmon or Hackmon in its name, or a Digimon with Royal Knight in its type, all your Digimon with Sistermon in their name gain blocker. Since Sistermons come back all the time with your Jesmon, you're going to want to use this to gain that kind of advantage. When an opponent's Digimon attacks you, you may suspend this Digimon to force your opponent to attack it instead. On play, trigger draw +1. So if you on play Sistermon, you can get draw advantage, and Jesmon does that from the graveyard or hand. So free card advantage all day long. We play 2 Digimon because I wanted another rookie level, but in champion because we want to turbo into Jesmon, and sometimes relying on getting a rookie. We can get 2 Digimon. We're fine and dandy. We can play the Figi, then Digivolve right into our ultimate and just proceed to win from there. Next, we have Bio Shoutmon. So if you have a Digimon with Sistermon in its name, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 or less DP. Delete those blockers. That's all you're doing. Next, we do have Greymon for the security checks. Here is Sistermon Seal, which it's not Sistermon Blanc, sadly, but it's the same Blanc skill. So all turns your Digimon with Shoutmon in their names or Royal Knights in their types get plus 2,000 DP. And on play, gain 1 memory. So free memory on play with Jesmon. Let's go all day long. Groundramon's in here for that cheap evolve and 5 memory play early on, going first, playing that down. They have to answer it right away. If they can't, they're screwed. Next, we have Ridemyavatar in here for that Digiburst to play our tie, but also if you have a Tamer in play, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 DP. Being able to clear out board state is super important. Next, we have, you may play 1 Digimon card. We have Savior Shoutmon. If you may play 1 Digimon card with Sistermon in its name from your hand without paying its memory cost. So we get a free 2-for-1 off of a 3 evolve. You pull it out early, which is not bad at all. When attacking once per turn, if you have a Digimon with Sistermon in its name, unsuspend this Digimon. So you can see what happens here. Jesmon swings in multiple times, especially if you give it a dedicated plan and it has an extra security. That's 4 security without even trying. And then Digivolve right into Omnimon. You could just win the game right there. If you keep security control at check and just keep taking out 1 security and dedicated plan and removing threats, is just super good. Next, we play Gallantmon. This card is for security and 3 musketeer, and its purpose is if you have a red tamer, delete one of your opponent's blockers basically, and then trash one of your opponent's security cards for every 10 cards in the trash. This card is an out win for you. Here's the card I've been talking about the whole video. Jesmon. When attacking, you may play a Digimon card with Sistermon in its name from hand or trash without paying its memory cost. Recyclable blockers that just keep coming back. This is why the deck is nutty strong. There's not many decks that can just pull out a Digimon from the trash and just say, you're going to be my blocker and you're going to stay a blocker. Kill it as many times as you like, but it's going to come back. Then once per turn, when you play another Digimon, this Digimon gets plus 3,000 DP and gains Pierce. So swing into their big guy, kill it off with some of these inheritables, triggering draws, triggering plus attacks, just being able to clear out things, and then restanding with Savior Shoutmon to be able to take out the rest of their stuff. Then we also play Gallantmon with the security +1 from the trial deck, but it also says when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 or less DP. If this does not delete a Digimon because they don't have it, congratulations, you're getting plus 3,000 DP. You're swinging in for 14 regardless. Then Blitz Omni, we kind of already know what this does. Let's stand up, attack, swing in for that game finisher. We also play 2 dedicated plans just to shut off options because security and 3 musketeers are main decks of this format. We have Judgment of the Blade. So one of your Digimon with Shoutmon or Shoutmon, if you want to pronounce it that way, is in its name, or Royal Knight in its type, can attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. Really good because Jesmon has Pierce. And if it has Pierce, guess what? It's going through. And then it restands because you're achieving all this fun. Good stuff. Security, you may play 1 Digimon card with Sistermon in its name from your hand or trash without paying its memory cards. Then add this card to your hand. You get a free, this is pretty much Night Raid in steroid form, just for its security check. And we also have Red Memory Boost because Red Memory Boost is super good in this format. If you don't know what it does, reveal top 4, add a red Digimon card from among them, place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. Then this card to your battle yard, delay just to gain that 2 memory. Sweet, sweet 2 memory. Tai Kamiya is in here to set our memory to 3, and then use Jesmon's security pokes like there's no tomorrow. Final deck, boys and girls. Bonds of Courage, aka Bonds of Bravery in English, because apparently they don't like courage. Whatever. So we have Coromon being Coromon to draw us a card advantage for our Greymons. So gaining some extra card advantage does help out because we're playing it like a Rookie Rush deck. This deck is designed like a Rookie Rush Warp deck, where you have to see Taikamiya to digivolve your Agumons into the Bonds of Bravery, aka Bonds of Friendship. I mean, not Bonds of Friendship, Bonds of Courage. Then we also have Demimera for that extra 1000 DP when swinging into your opponent. Next, we have Agumon. Reveal top 5 cards, add 1 Tamer from among them. So we're trying to dig and hit them Tamers. Then put the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. We also play Agumon Expert. For the fact of the matter is, after Bonds of Bravery dies by his own effect early on, you want to use Agumon Expert to bring it back to hand so that you can go off from there. We also have Agumon in here for a 2-cost drop, 4000 DP. Big threat, right? More likely to survive. We have the Agumon that is related to Bonds of Courage. So once per turn, when you play a Tamer with Taikamiya in its name, gain 1 memory. While this Digimon is Agumon Bonds of Courage, this Digimon gains security +1. So poking in, we're going to take out them securities like there's no tomorrow. Agumon's in here for that. This Digimon gets +1000 DP. Next one is a +2000 DP when this Digimon attacks a player. Next, we have Agunimon to digivolve on top of our Tamers, so that if we want to go for game after we use Bond of Bravery a few times, we can win it. Next, we do have Greymon in here. So this Digimon Digievolution Sword contains Agumon, security +1. We're trying to get some of that security out of the way. We also have Greymon. So if it gets popped in security, we're going to take out most 4000 DP or lower rookies and stuff like that. That is its goal, is to clear out 1 Mon. Next, we do play Magnadramon. So the reason why we play Magnadramon is the same thing while I was talking about AncientGreymon and Bonds of Courage in one deck. This deck sacrifices to security it immediately when you warp Digievolution into the Bonds. So you want to use this to gain 2 memory back because you are slower. You're not like Ancient Garurumon and comboing with Bonds of Friendship, where they both kind of restand themselves on their own and they kind of just do their own merits. So 3 attacks in, you kind of want to be able to recover. That deck doesn't require it because it OTKs like a fiend. And while attacking, you may play 1 yellow level 3 Digimon. That's not important, but the importance is hard dropping this, covering +2 after using Bonds of Bravery, aka Bonds of Courage. So when attacking, if you have a Tamer, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 13,000 or less DP. And then if you deleted an opponent's Digimon, trash one of your opponent's top security stacks. So 2 security, 3 security, depending on the lineup, is really nasty, and we love that kind of stuff. Next, we do Happy Bullet Showers. So this is to help us just take out 1 security. That's all it needs to do. And being able to take out multiple Digimon while we have Bonds of Bravery, free 1 removal without swinging is super good because it just goes to trash. It doesn't deal the damage. Gaia Force in here for that OTK combo decks that just keep showing up. We also have Atomic Blaster, delete ultimates because we need to get those off the board. And then we play Marcus to gain us memory because our Greymons are in the deck. And he sets us to 3, which is super important. Next, we do also play Taikamiya for the fact of the Warp Digievolution. We play enough Agumon, whoops all Agumons, for the fact to gain off Agumon Bonds of Bravery. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!